The rise of Paolo Banchero. Paolo Banchero emerges as an up-and-coming basketball phenomenon. Early and personal life. The basketball prodigy, Paolo Napoleon James. Banchero entered the world on November 12, 2002, in Seattle, Washington. You haven't seen his family tree yet if his last name doesn't already make you think he's destined to be great. Rhonda Smith Banchero played basketball professionally after becoming a star athlete at the University of Washington. Paolo Banchero's father, named Mario, participated in football competitions during his college years. On a genetic level, Paolo seems destined to become a sports prodigy. During his childhood, Paolo actively participated in multiple sports disciplines. Football was one sport Paolo played, but he also played basketball and took part in track events. Basketball emerged as his calling when Paolo reached his teenage years. For anyone who questions his abilities, Paolo stands at 6 feet 10 inches, but moves with the grace of a ballerina when he wears basketball sneakers. Isn't that just unfair? The decisions that Paolo made as he grew up were heavily shaped by his family. Rhonda Banchero gifted her son Paolo with both his basketball genetic traits and his strong work ethic, together with his competitive nature. From his early days, he received guidance from his coach, who placed emphasis on fundamental skills and discipline. Paolo learned resilience from his father Mario, who applied football players' toughness to develop Paolo's mental strength. Paolo developed his athletic and personal abilities while growing up in a nurturing family home, which emphasized sports activities. Paolo's childhood contained many vivid elements beyond sports, as he grew up with an Italian heritage. Through traditions and food, they kept their heritage alive, while also making trips to Italy. Paolo shows no surprise about feeling proud of his dual identity, because he regularly talks about how his background maintains his grounded nature. Paolo demonstrated his strong personality and leadership ability since he was very young. Teachers and peers described him as a humble person who showed respect to others while being driven toward his goals. Despite his busy academic schedule, he managed to combine sports with community service and mentoring younger athletes. His talent for connecting with others has made him both a basketball player everyone watches and someone people respect. Paolo spent his free time with siblings and friends by playing video games competitively and having spontaneous sports games when he was away from the basketball court. His competitive side did not stop at basketball, but extended to friendly wagers about board games or pasta-making contests. Fun fact: his grandmother's homemade lasagna stands as Paolo's most treasured dish. He loves to tell others that it is the best in the world, with the same intensity he would use to perform a fast break dunk. From his first step on the Odeya High School court, Paolo showed he was an unstoppable force. After starting his freshman season, he drove his team to win a state championship, while putting up 14 points and 10 rebounds per game. Paolo stood out during the state finals with his 16-point score, while collecting 12 rebounds and 4 blocks, which earned him MVP honors and secured Odeya the championship title. During his second year, Paolo played at a higher level by averaging 18 points and 11 rebounds, while handing over 3 assists each game. In a competitive mid-season game against a rival school, he recorded 25 points, alongside 15 rebounds and 5 assists while remaining active on the court. Paolo demonstrated his superiority throughout his third high school season by scoring 22 points and adding 11 rebounds with 4 assists per game. Paolo led his team to yet another deep playoff run. With 34 points, 16 rebounds, and 6 blocks in one remarkable game, he left both fans and scouts completely awestruck. He received the Washington Gatorade Player of the Year award after this remarkable season. During his senior year, Paolo became one of Washington State's top high school basketball players by averaging 24 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. He delivered an astounding performance during one nationally televised game when he scored 38 points and grabbed 17 rebounds while handing out 7 assists in the victory. The McDonald's All-American team selected him while he received invitations to the Jordan Brand Classic and Nike Hoop Summit. While competing against top-tier college basketball teams, Odeya always performed at his best. He distinguished himself by his capacity to perform under pressure and lead from the court to the sidelines. Paolo supported younger teammates by providing mentorship and participating in community projects away from the basketball court. Fun fact: Paulo's powerful dunk during one high school game bent the rim, which required that play stop for repairs. He showed his capacity to excel during matches against stronger opponents while performing impressively under pressure. As a rookie, he showed leadership abilities by connecting with his teammates and always taking responsibility for team performance during practice. Paulo made various contributions beyond scoring during his time with the team. The Magic could experiment with various lineups because of his playmaking skills and defensive versatility, while he displayed his own adaptability. The coaches and teammates talked about Paulo's work ethic and dedication in practice, because he kept establishing himself as the team's future leader. Paulo ended his first season as a professional player with commentary from experts and fans recognizing him as a standout talent of his age group. His path transitioned from high school star to NBA foundation player with more achievements on the horizon. Paolo Banchero, 2 years after his NBA Rookie of the Year victory, Paolo Banchero began his sophomore NBA season facing elevated expectations. Orlando Magic fans, analysts, and everyone else around the basketball world were curious. Orlando Magic supporters, along with sports analysts and basketball fans everywhere, asked themselves about his sophomore year performance. Spoiler, Paulo smashed through the expectations placed upon him. Sophomore season, 2023 to 2024. Paulo ascended to become a dependable NBA star and team leader during his sophomore season, 2023 to 2024. He dedicated the offseason to improving his shooting accuracy and defensive game awareness. By midseason, his averages reflected his growth. His midseason numbers showed his advancement with points at 22.3 and rebounds at 7.4, along with assists at 4.5 and steals at 1 point, 2 blocks at 0.8. He displayed improved three-point shooting with a 36% success rate, which was a notable improvement from his rookie season. Notable games in his sophomore year versus Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks player scored his first 40-point game with 41 points, while grabbing 8 rebounds and 5 assists against one of the league's top defenses. Against the Philadelphia 76ers. He scored 30 points with 12 rebounds and 6 assists, while hitting a game-tying 3 to send the matchup into overtime. During his match against reigning MVP Nikola Jokic, he did not shy away but managed to score 35 points with 9 rebounds and 7 assists against the Denver Nuggets. The Magic became a playoff contender, not just because of his individual performances, but due to Paulo's leadership abilities. By boosting his defensive communication and playmaking ability, he became a more complete player. Third year, 2024 to 2025. Paulo entered his third NBA season, 2024 to 2025, with his status as an emerging star already secured. In the early part of the season, he has taken another step forward, averaging, during the first quarter of the season, he achieved major progress as his performance statistics include 25.1 points per game and 8.2 rebounds per game, along with 5.1 assists per game, while remaining the central playmaker for the Magic team, who faces double coverage, but still creates scoring chances for his teammates. Current highlights. Versus Boston Celtics, the player achieved career best performance with 45 points, which included 6 three-pointers plus 8 assists during the match. Fans and commentators expressed their admiration through applause for his creative performance. During a nationally televised game, he achieved a triple-double, recording 28 points and 11 assists, while grabbing 14 rebounds against the Los Angeles Lakers. In the paint, he proved nearly unstoppable, scoring 38 points with 15 rebounds and 5 blocks against the Houston Rockets. Paolo Banchero's dynamic with young teammates Franz Wagner and Jalen Suggs has flourished, while the Magic team becomes one of the most thrilling to follow. The team targets returning to the playoffs after many years, while Paolo takes charge of the effort. Fun facts from his NBA journey. Paolo gained fame for his on-court fashion statements, which included everything from sophisticated suits to daring costumes based on his favorite movies. Paolo Banchero has collaborated with various organizations in Orlando, focused on youth mentorship programs and educational support for underprivileged communities. Paolo dreams of playing for Italy on the international stage, which adds depth to his exceptional basketball story.